Hello, this is Amy at Amy's Free Motion Quilting Adventures. You can find the blog at freemotionquiltingadventures.blogspot.com. And it's time for another Free Motion Monday Quilting Adventures video. And we're doing a series on grid-based quilting designs. And I've gotten a little bit bigger this time than my half-inch squares. These are 1-inch squares. I've already done my grid. I'm not exactly sure what this design is called. I did see it recently on someone else's quilt. It wasn't labeled as to what type of design, but I'm going up and around these grid lines, kind of a figure 8 motion to make a design, and then I'm going to fill in the centers, and it's really going to make the floral part of the design pop, this curved part. Right now, before I fill in the centers, these centers pop more than this part right here. And so I'm going to fill those in and just get a different kind of look to it. It almost looks like a little lattice. And one of the ways that I can quilt these little curves fairly uniformly is I start from the corner. As soon as I get halfway out, I start looking towards my next corner. And that helps me keep those lines fairly uniform. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to go ahead and quilt this set of lines. Now that I'm here, I can come back up this side, which didn't have its curve. And this is kind of a continuous curves design. If you start in the right spot and you don't get thrown off of your pattern of turns, you can quilt this design fairly continuously, which is handy. The fewer starts and stops you have, it really helps. Whoops. Like I said, if you can stick to where you need to be, that helps. I just started going over here where I didn't even have my grid. Well, that will be ripped out at some point, so I'm going to just stitch there a few times. I'm going to backtrack along this line. And I hope you guys don't mind that I occasionally make mistakes in my videos. I'm just, that's part of it. I'm sure I could shoot these videos over and over again until they were perfect. I'd rather just shoot them and post them as I make them. We're going to make mistakes. There we go. Now if I hadn't gone along this line and done those curves already, I'm going to go ahead and backtrack like they're not even there. Just like that, and it would keep it continuous. Sometimes you just get kind of thrown out of your pattern and quilt somewhere you probably should have left open in order to make it a continuous design. And that's okay. Just means a little extra stop and start or another backtrack. And I just stitched over an area where I've filled in there and you can't even tell. And I did that so that I didn't have to stop and start. And stopping and starting isn't a horrible pain, but the less of it you do sure makes things a little bit easier on tying off thread ends and that kind of thing. So I've gotten all of my little floral grid done here. And you can see back here where I've filled in. And so what I'm doing now is just filling in those squares. What I've kind of done is just a little corner-to-corner spirally kind of thing. It's not an exact spiral. If you got out your magnifying glass and looked at these when they're done, you would see that I'm crossing over some of my lines, but it gives the impression that it's a spiral and gives it a fill with just some extra, I don't know, linear kind of shape to it. It's kind of orderly. It's not a scribbly thing. You kind of fool the eye into thinking that it is a perfect little spiral in here, even though it isn't. And it gets it filled in pretty nice. Be pretty uniform as you quilt. Over here. I'm just finishing filling in these centers. It is a spiral on the way in. On the way out, it is not necessarily a spiral. I'm roughly quilting between the lines that make up this spiral, but it is not exact on the way out because this design is so dense. And that detail work is just very tiny. And I come back out to another corner and spiral around and in, coming back out again, not necessarily keeping it into a spiral line. It still looks like it's done in a spiral, but because it is in such a small scale, you can't tell that it's not an exact spiral. Filling this in. And I really like the effect that this fill in the centers gives. And pushes back the area that's filled in and really causes those little flower petal-y continuous curve shapes to pop instead of the centers, and gives it kind of a lattice look. I think this would be really neat as a filler around a floral applique. It would look like it's a flower that's growing up on a lattice. To finish 2 more of these and then stop the video. I think you got the idea. I've done several videos on these grid-based designs so far as part of the series at the blog, grid-based designs for the month of June. So if you are missing some, look for them on my YouTube channel or go to the blog and read the posts. There's more detail in the posts to go along with the video. Next month we will be doing feathering. We'll be in July. We'll be doing different forms of feathers. Traditional, non-traditional, just different methods. Previous months we've done McTavishing, we've done some floral designs, and it's just been a lot of fun to see how other people do their designs. Just sharing what I've learned, learning from one another. It's just a lot of fun. So Hope you can join us. You can see here, this is a partial shape here, and I'm just kind of filling it in, keeping that kind of random, or not random, that spiral effect by keeping my lines parallel to the edges. I'm just going to go around this one real quick. I hear another little person approaching, so I better finish this up. I thank you for watching. You can find the blog again at Free Motion Quilting Adventures, Amy's Free Motion Quilting Adventures, and the blog address is freemotionquiltingadventures.blogspot.com. And I just want to show you how this looks from a distance. Back the camera off there. And this is just a whole sampler of grid-based designs that I've been doing. Again, there's the one we just finished. Isn't that neat? There's my thread ends. Let me get those out of the way. Here. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.